Okay, here is the next game coming through. This is a game I've wanted for a while. This is Flight 2000. It's a Harry Williams game. Harry. Yeah, I was right. Uh, Harry Williams used to work for Williams, and he also worked with the Stern back in the day. They were like partners, I believe. And then he came back out of retirement and he designed a couple of games like Galaxy, Meteor, Flight 2000, and I think Stars is also part of it was like a 4 game thing that he did, and Stars being a chimed SS. This is a multi-ball. First one was speech for Stern. So just got this yesterday. It was about a 13-hour trip to go pick this up. It does already have a CPR playfield in it. It was done at least 3 years ago. He had it for about 3 years. Long story short, this collector had about 150 games, and he was friends with, obviously, his dealer, so to speak. And he recently passed away. So the dealer went and kind of made, it was like he put another game up for sale every 5 minutes for like 2 hours, for like 4 or 5 days in a row. And his wife loved pinball machines, so she kept a lot of the pins. All the arcade machines went up, but it was real hectic. Like within the first second, like 4 people would reply, "I'll take it." So it was a really boom, boom. I can't believe I thought I was the 3rd or 4th person to reply. Apparently, I came in first. So I went and picked this up. Like I said, I've been wanting to get one anyway, and with the CPR playfield. But I found the for sale ad when this was on Pinside like 3 years ago. And when it was on Pinside, it kind of read like it had just been done, very recent, whatever. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing on the game at all. The game, I mean, I just set it up, leveled it, been playing it, and everything's really good. So on that note, anything I mention here is going to be just being very nitpicky. It is what I do to all my games. But usually I don't really talk about the nitpicky stuff because people may not care or whatever. They want to see the big picture. But as some of you may know that work on these things, you're kind of getting nickel and dimed. It's the little tiny things that kind of end up making a big difference or whatever. So on that note, this is the nitpicky stuff that I want to work on with this game. These are nuts. Let me zoom in right here. Those are all nuts, and they're barely on there. So I'm not sure if those are the wrong posts, or can I just take the nuts off and do the normal push tabs? Or the screw post tops. So there's that. But then that should have one. Also, like right here, pretty sure there's supposed to be a post there. There's a hole down in there too. So that's missing a post. I have red posts. I think I even have these those like star posts like that. I'm pretty sure I even have some of those because I used them on, I think I used them on my Galaxy, which would make sense. Again, just being real nitpicky. That sticker is really wrinkled. So I might buy a new sticker, polish this, get that smooth, put that, clean that up. Let's see. That one bricks 9 out of 10 times. It bricks a lot. And it's sticking, it's pretty much flush. And then that one's pretty much flush, getting a little bit lower, then a little bit lower. So I think the whole drop target mech needs to be raised on the right side, because I think the left is fine, but the right is down. I'm talking like it's down like 1/8 of an inch. Also, when these are up, I think whenever they did the letters, they aligned it with the bottom of the target. Whenever they did the numbers, they aligned it with the bottom of the target because the numbers are really low. So I'll probably end up just buying new numbers, or I'll have to see. But I have a letter number kit from doing the lab stuff. So I may end up just taking those off and just raise them up and just put on new numbers. I'll have to see if they're the right size and how the font looks compared to the factory font. Okay, nitpicky stuff. Let's see. So yeah, besides the fact it bricks, so I may either need to tighten up the spring or make sure it's not hitting this. A lot of times it's just hitting this rubber behind there. So, but right there, it looks like it's sitting forward a lot, so it might be as forward as it can go. So let's see. The next thing, I don't like these LEDs. The LEDs are actually down like 1/4 of an inch below the playfield. So you're only kind of getting a spotlight sensation instead of if it was sticking out of the playfield, you would get more of a spread left to right. Right now I'm getting a very spotlight effect because they sit down below. So, but I have Comet 2 SMDs. Same thing I did in this game. You can kind of see, they stick up out of the play field and you get more of a, so I'll do that. Oh, this is the only thing I think that I found that needs like repaired on the play field. Some of these screws are not. Some of them are just need tightened up. But I found a section where a couple of them were, where was it? Yeah, definitely this one. That's stripped out. So I'll have to get some wood glue and a toothpick, put it down in there. I found, yeah. Sorry, my video probably sucks because I'm not looking at the camera. But I had found a couple that were like that. Again, no big deal. I mean, that's a typical simple fix. So, yeah, definitely got to fix that one. Yeah, I know I felt 2 or 3. Again, this one, and then this one's missing a screw. The post is in there, but it's missing a screw. So, and like this might be the wrong post because it's another big lip right there. So that's flush on the rail, and then this one's up 1/4 of an inch. So that might have the wrong post. Yeah. You can see this one is up a lot higher than that one. And that one's up a lot higher than that one. So I may put lower posts back there. Lower that down a little bit. Again, this is just like little nitpicky stuff that like most people probably wouldn't notice. If I'm gonna place an order, if I need to, I'm gonna get a new, this is chipped back here. Probably would never notice, that's chipped. That may be it for up here. The plunger needs aligned, it's really low. So kind of hard to see, but it's kind of, the ball doesn't hop or anything, so it's working fine. It's just really low. Because even, like that's the right bulb, but it's like flush. So it needs to come up out of the playfield a little bit. So I don't know if they used the wrong socket, which if they use the wrong socket, I do have a bunch. But I'll just kind of have to see what's going on there. Trying to think. That maybe that pop bumper. It works occasionally, so that needs fixed. If you remember from my Meteor video, I did like a star, like a, what was a translucent orange that kind of had a starburst effect, so it looked really good. I'm thinking I might do that translucent orange, the body, cap, skirt, everything right there might look really good because the way it just reflected light and kind of had this crystal stuff to it. I might do those. I did change out the rubber down here because it was like kind of really beat up, worn, just regular yellow rubber. And it kind of looked like it aged. So I just threw some blue ones on that I had. I might do the black flippers with black flippers with orange rubber. I might do that on here because I saw that's what he did on the HEP video, and it looked high-end pinball, and it looked really good. So I might do that. Yeah, here actually in the light, you can kind of see, I mean, it has some wear. You can kind of see that go from where the ball doesn't touch to where the ball does. I'll try to buff that out a little bit. I mean, you can see, like, it almost looks like I just made it worse right there because the finger smudges. But if you're playing it standing back here, it looks brand new. So again, just being nitpicky. The back glass, I'm probably going to replace it. It's not flaking very bad. There's only a couple spots, like right there. There's kind of some faded spots. But someone has tried to clear coat it on the back. And so the back side is really rough. And if you look at the displays, there's like a fog. That's the clear. And on some of it, you can see they kind of like tried to scratch off the... So I'm thinking what I'll do is just wait until Expo here in a couple months and look for a CPR back glass for it. Not that big of a deal. Let me go ahead and pause this real quick, and I'll open up the back box and show you kind of what I need to fix in there. Okay. So in here, the connectors looked like besides maybe the lamp ones, which they've been repinned, all of the white ones have been new connectors, repinned. That's new connectors there. New Alltech solenoid driver board, new Alltech MPU. It does have the add-on resistor pack, so you can do LEDs without flicker. Typically, I just don't do those because I do yopsicles, and yopsicles don't need those with the factory board. So that's good. So this is not screwed in. It's supposed to be kind of screwed down going around the bottom of the board down there. Again, that's no big deal. Something kind of happened here, ate this up, so that wood's a little marred up. One thing I do want to actually fix, the ground wire. They just have is an alligator clip going from there to there. So minimum, what I'll do is I'll just get like some heavy gauge. Whoa, yeah, see, it just started making noise. So minimum, what I'll do is I'll grab some like 12 gauge copper wire and solder it to the braid, and then I'll just put a ring on it and have it come up and just attach to the screw right here and just have a ring terminal. Something a little bit more permanent than an alligator clip. Oh yeah, and then here somebody did a repair with a couple barrel connectors. Not liking that, so I got to get rid of that. I'll get soldered and heat shrink. This was connected in the wrong spot. This is for the LED flicker, which, I mean, he had just laid the head down, so I don't even think, I don't know, but that was in the wrong spot. Because whenever I first turned it on, the LEDs were acting all weird, and I kind of looked at that, and I was like, that's supposed to be on the control lamp, and they had it on one of the GIs. Not a big deal. Like I said, this is all just very nitpicky, go figure. Like, see, here's a wire nut. So I'll solder and heat shrink that, get rid of that. Like I said, I've already ordered displays from Wolfpack, so I can turn off the high voltage. It plays great. I'm just, the only thing that's really, whenever I say plays great, the only downside is how often that breaks. So I need to look into that. But I really like it. I need to actually kind of go through and put the zip ties in and put those back on there. So I got a bag of white zip ties. I'll, screw that back up. But this is just preliminary. I set it up last night, played a couple of games. I was like, cool, everything works. Just needs kind of dialed in a little bit. Very happy with my purchase. I'm not upset about anything. Let's say in the cab, I think there was one butt connector or something down in the cab. So I'll get rid of that. I might do that today. I don't have much going on this weekend, so again, these are all those like flat. They're not bad in the back box, but they're just flat and they don't have domes on them. So I don't know. Those don't bother me as bad as what the GI does, because those being behind the back glass, you don't see them as much. So, I guess I can go ahead and I'll open up the cab and I'll lift the play field and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so everything under here, it looks like they have, can't say I'm a fan of how they did that, but they did put bigger rectifiers on the rectifier board, new resistors. So, I mean, it has been rebuilt. It works fine. Just a little, trying to make it fit, I guess. Not a big deal. All new connectors, repinned down there. Got a little bit of a speaker hum going on. And then over here, you can see there's a couple of butt connectors. Looks like there's plenty of wire, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But, you know, I'll make that into one solid piece and get rid of that. That's not a big, I mean, 10 seconds. I'll do it whenever I do all the other ones. Of course, whenever I do that, then I'll actually put that through the loom like it's supposed to be. Nothing really going on under here. The underside of the play field is very clean. I like how that's all set up, no big deal. I kind of want to look into this flipper. When it pulls in, it makes a loud thump. That one doesn't. Also, this one's fiberglass, and I think that's, I don't know if that's a different type of replacement or what, but that's a plastic version. So I need to see which one's supposed to be original. And I want to double check, like, oh, well, there's your problem. That's probably why it's loud. It's loose. So, okay, maybe that's the only reason. Because when you're playing it, it's like you get your tink, 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 then boom. This one has a really low thud to it. So, on top of that, I know people have problem with these trough switches, and they do sell a circuit board to fix that. So far, it's working perfect. So it's just in the back of my mind. Again, I need to go through on the GI and just see, did they use the wrong sockets? Did they use, hopefully it's just a bulb thing. I got to figure out what's going on. Like, okay, what's weird, whoever did the playfield swap didn't even screw that down. There's no holes. So that harness is just kind of hanging in there. Okay, so I need to get some short. I have a ton. What I do is I buy in bulk is the screws that they use for GI or they use for lamp sockets. I buy those in bulk. Like those, well, not those, but yeah. I buy those screws in bulk because you can put them straight to the wood and they're not going to go all the way through. And they still have a decent sized diameter to them. So, okay, that's getting fixed right now. That whole thing's just hanging down. So it's missing 10 screws right there. Yeah, not a fan. Yeah, it's even. Okay, so that's the only, what the fuck? Sorry, kids. So, yeah, that needs fixed. Well, they didn't screw that up anywhere. There's like a couple down at the very end and like a couple in the middle. It's missing at least 10 screws. So, introduction video, we are figuring this out as we go. Not a huge deal. Like I said, I'm going to adjust. You can adjust this plate right here. And this adjusts how the targets sit. Wait, is it that plate? I think so. There's a way, yeah, I think you adjust this lower plate here and you can raise. So I'll need to go to the inside edge. Yeah, and this, I want to zip tie that up or something. I don't like the weight of the cable hanging on the, so. I mean, it's fine. Throw a bunch of screws in it. I mean, it's all no big deal. Tighten up that flipper assembly. I want to see what the plunger is supposed to look like. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the plastic one or the fiberglass one. Part of me is like, that one's Stern, that one's Williams, but they're the same game. So No big deal. It's all simple, easy fixes. It's just me being really nitpicky. Oh, that's broke. That probably got hit on the, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to either epoxy that back into place or replace that coil. Don't like that. It might have got, I bet somebody hit it on the tray. Oh, here's something I want to fix. Nice. Weird. So I'm gonna try to find a new hanger for this, because it's supposed to use 2 spots and this is only using 1. So I'm like pretty sure someone bought this at like Home Depot, made their own. So figure out what's going on with that. I mean, this is all little simple stuff that like a lot of times people just don't go over because you're worried about all the big things. All my big things are perfect on this, so we're good. So there you go. In the next video, we will, honestly, I'll probably wait a little bit, but right now I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to do that wiring harness at least. I'm going to screw that up into place. I don't like it hanging down like that. So I don't want it. It's got some screws in it, so it's not hanging on its own weight, except behind the drop targets. You never want the weight of the wire being held up by the solder joint or something, especially when it's a big. So it's got a couple screws in it, but I'm going to screw all that down, and I'll see you guys. Give it about a week, because I might order some parts for it. I don't really need much, if anything. So the spinner decal off the top of my head is the only thing I need. And maybe if I want to replace that up at end lane, which I might have some red ones. I got to check my stash. So, but there we go. It'll be pretty fun. I'm already enjoying it. I've managed to get multi-ball once so far. It was actually the one game I played this morning. Last night I did not get it. So there you go. See you guys next time.